Knicks family, what's poppin' with you? Happy Sunday to you, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Knicks in for another tough battle tonight as they take on the Toronto Raptors, ladies and gentlemen. 8 p.m. tonight at MSG. The Knicks are in the middle of a 3-game homestand. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be another battle. Despite who may or may not be in the game for the Toronto Raptors, it's going to be a battle. So hold on tight and get ready for it, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Knicks can do themselves a lot of favors by getting this victory tonight. First, they get back to 500. Necessary, because that vaunted 6th seed is where the Knicks want to be in the playoff race. Talked about that before. They can also tie the season series with the Toronto Raptors and put themselves in position to win that season series, and that's important. Because if by any chance this comes down to the Knicks being in that 10th seed and the Raptors right now in the 11th seed and they need a tiebreaker, they got to get it, ladies and gentlemen. Can't play around with these guys. It's not the time of the year. 19 games left to the season. This is a playoff push. Knicks got to go get it. Take care of business. Big win the other night versus who they play? Memphis. Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. That was a big win. Because the Knicks were at a chance. Let me tell you what. If the Knicks lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, they were at a point where they could. The season would have been teetering. I don't want to say that they saved the season, but they almost saved the season with that comeback win against the Memphis Grizzlies. Because they would have been 3 games below 500, starting to look at being in that 9th seed. That's not where they want to be. So that was a big game. That was a really big game, and they came through in a really big game. RJ Barrett came through in a really big game. Emmanuel Quickly, Alec Burks, these guys came through in a big, meaningful game. Every game from now on is big for this team. Until we find a way, which I don't think we're going to do, but until we find a way to gain some separation, every single game, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be meaningful. This is what it is. Anyway, let's talk about this basketball game. I got my man Uncle Fulio here. We're going to go ahead and get it on. And I do want to announce to you that after the game preview, it's going to be a shorter game preview than normal. Because at 6 p.m., I'm doing another DMX tribute. A DMX fan tribute. All right, so we give fans a chance to call in and, you know, just say what they want to say. So between the end of this, between 6 and 8, I'll be on doing a fan tribute. We'll have some people in the video chat. We'll have some call-ins. We'll listen to some music. All kinds of stuff. You know, not all kinds of stuff, but basically that. An X tribute, man. You know, we got to continue to give that man a lot of love and his family a lot of love. So hopefully you join me. I'll make sure I drop the link in the chat. All right. It's going to be dope. Let me get to my man, Uncle Fulio, that's here with me. We're going to go ahead and talk about this New York Knicks versus Toronto Raptors tonight, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime that I go live or drop a video. Hit that like button right now. Do it. Uncle Fulio, what's poppin', bro? How you feeling?
What's going on, fam? MBK fam, what's going on out there? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. I just got inside from cutting grass. Allergies is you know, I still got all kinds of grass in my face, it feels like, and allergies and all of that. But I'm good. I feel good otherwise. You know. Anyway, tonight. Big game tonight, right? Definitely a must win. In your opinion? I know it is in my opinion. In your opinion?
Without a doubt, no question. For Eastern Conference standings, Toronto is currently not in it right now, but, you know, any team can make a run. With the way the Eastern Conference has been this year, it's kind of been up and down. Definitely a game the Knicks need to win, you know, just to maintain their spot in the 10-team race. So got to win tonight, and let's see how we do.
Yeah. You know, tonight, there's a few players out for Toronto tonight, at least right now, the way it looks now. Okay, Jalen Harris, he's listed as out for tonight's game against the Knicks. Paul Watson is listed as out. OG Anunoby is day-to-day. He will not play against the Knicks tonight. Fred VanVleet is listed as out. He will not play. Kyle Lowry, he's listed as questionable. I would think that if Fred VanVleet's not playing, they're probably going to have Kyle Lowry play. So they're going to have a number of people out tonight. Of course, for the New York Knicks, it doesn't mean much. We've seen teams have players out, and we still end up struggling to get a win. So, just first and foremost, looking at who's out, who could possibly be out for the Toronto Raptors. What's your take there?
Well, definitely they're going to miss those pieces, and I think that it can definitely help, only help us, if those guys are missing players. But look, last time we played Toronto in Tampa, they were missing Pascal Siakam. Him and the coach got into it before the game, and they blew us out. We were unable to hit a shot that game. I think we shot the ball extremely terrible that game. So, you just can't take any teams for granted, particularly teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. Teams are going to come out and be hungry, just like we are. We're hungry. That's why we beat Memphis, and we've held our own against a lot of these teams. So, just not taking any team for granted. I felt that the issues that were plaguing the Knicks as far as the slumping, Julius Randle slumping, the lethargic play was just them taking other teams for granted and thinking they can, they're at that level where they can start, taking it easy on teams. You can't do that in this NBA, not in this season. Not as things are going down the stretch. So we'll see how the Knicks come out tonight and play against the Raptors. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Do you think that the Knicks have? Do you think they've learned their lesson as far as taking other teams for granted? Looking and saying, hey, they don't have such and such here. I don't want to say that they ever really relaxed, but sometimes it felt like, they recognized that the opposing team didn't have a player and maybe they relaxed a little bit. Or maybe it comes down to lineup, not lineups, but planning and strategizing. That it happens a lot with a lot of teams, right? 2 or 3 players are out, and all of a sudden they're like, okay, wait a minute, now how do we attack this team? But Fred VanVleet being out, that's a big, that's big because he's one of the guys that helps the team to go. OG Anunoby, he's one of those guys. He killed us the last game. Matter of fact, didn't he hit a big shot over in the left corner? I think
he did.
Big shot in the left corner that hurt us in the first game. Of course, the Knicks couldn't shoot the ball in the ocean in that first game. But do you think the Knicks have learned some lessons? Obviously, look, there's only 19 games left. If you're going to learn lessons, you shouldn't be learning any more lessons about this season, right? But the Knicks are that kind of team where they're constantly going to be learning lessons about themselves because of that's who they are. Do you think they've learned their lesson about taking teams for granted?
I think it's still a little bit yet to be seen a little bit. I do believe the Knicks are still learning. They're learning a lot about themselves, what it takes to be a playoff team, what it takes to hold on to leads, what it takes to come back. Everything is happening on the fly with this team. So as far as them not taking it easy, I guess, it's yet to be seen. We got to figure out how the Knicks are going to finish off this season, but the Knicks are constantly learning. So I don't think it starts and ends after one game. I think, it's a work in progress, and this team has shown, that they're able to bounce back from terrible games. They're able to come out and just, hang tough with a lot of teams that they're not really supposed to be beating. So I think that they're still learning. It's not over yet.
Yeah. Now, I definitely agree with you there. They're still learning a lot of lessons. We seen in the last game, although it went into overtime, we scored 133 points. A lot of contributions from all over the place. Derrick Rose had 19. He was carrying the team and scoring. Him and Emmanuel Quickly kind of carrying that team in scoring while R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle couldn't hit anything. Alec Burks came on late to give us some big minutes. Julius Randle had another triple-double. R.J. Barrett, he hit some big shots late and kind of took us into that overtime. Right? Hopefully we can continue. I want to start with Julius Randle, though. In the post game, we were talking about Julius Randle and that right now, because it looks like he's kind of fatigued mentally, emotionally, physically. Teams are also loading up on him. I think that it's time for Julius Randle right now, at least for a little bit, to give more trust to his teammates. Give the ball up a little sooner. Let somebody else do the work and kind of, take. I don't want to say you don't want to take plays off defensively, but take a couple plays off offensively. Right. He's going to be a threat anyway. No matter what happens, he's going to be a threat because teams know he's the leading scorer. They know he can knock down the three. They know he can go out and get assists at any time, right? 5 of the last, 14 games, I think he's had a triple-double. And I'm not saying he needs to go out and get a triple-double every night, but I think he needs to be a triple-double threat every night at this moment. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have to. I think against Memphis, somewhere near the top of the fourth quarter, he had only taken 6 shots. And I'm not saying it has to be that low, but I think he only took 12 shots for the entire game. And I think this is what Julius Randle might need to do coming down the stretch of the season so that he can preserve some of his legs, let his teammates take over a little bit. Do you agree, disagree, or what? Do you agree or disagree? And do you think he will do that?
So I absolutely agree. And I don't, again, just like you said, I don't think he needs to be a triple-double threat, but he needs to be a high assist threat. We're not getting that assist, production from any of our point guards. Not that we necessarily need to, but I definitely think Julius Randle needs to be the facilitator for this team. And that doesn't necessarily mean dribbling into double teams and being aggressive going after double teams. Maybe he can get the ball, and when the double teams come at him, he's able to feed his teammates. We've seen him do that with R.J. Barrett, Reggie Bullock, some great tandems, and that's why R.J. has been shooting so well from the three-point line, because Randle's been able to give the ball up to him in situations where it's unfavorable for Randle to score. I definitely agree that Randle needs to be more of a facilitator, and that would, probably prevent him from being as tired as we come down the stretch of the season, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, the hard thing is, I don't know if the team can operate that way, though. That's why I get a little nervous, because they've been playing one way the entire season, and then all of a sudden you're asking them, well, we're going to let Randle just kind of, maybe chill in the corner while you guys take over some of the offense for stretches. You know what I'm saying? Not that we haven't seen him do it before. Obviously, Randle was out, right? And they had to play basketball. There's times when he's not on the floor. There are times when other people are just taking over. But for the most part, when Julius Randle's on the floor, they're looking for him. When things break down, they're looking for him. And the way that they, and a lot of times it's not even when things break down. Right from the jump street, he has the ball in his hands. When he takes 10 seconds to get into the post, see if they're going to double team or triple team or whatever they're going to do, and then kick it out. And sometimes that's what leads us to, taking these last second shots. Right, 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and then R.J. Barrett kicks it over to Elfrid Payton for an open three. Which he was knocking down those threes the last game, by the way. It's interesting to see.
No one to say that.
They're not. They're not, because he shoots 25%, and everybody knows it's not going to last. He's not going to continue to shoot that way. But hey, if you look at the last 2 games, I think he's actually like 3 for 4. From the 3-point line in the last 2 games. So who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's been working on his shot. Maybe he had some Wheaties. Who knows? I don't know. But I think it would be, beneficial for Julius Randle to take just take a little bit of a break on that offensive side. Every now and again, you're going to need him out there, but take a little bit of a break.
It doesn't necessarily mean Julius Randle just camp out in the corner and wait for the ball to come to him. I think the offense definitely needs to start and end with Julius Randle, whether it be him being on the ball and being more of a facilitator. I would like to personally see Julius Randle get in the post a little bit more and work that way and have double teams come that way and being able to kick it out. And the Knicks be able to swing the ball around the perimeter a little bit more. I think that would be a way to help the offense out and get more open looks. Instead of Julius Randle taking the ball coast to coast, from the top of the key, being able to set the offense up that way. Because teams are double teaming and he's dribbling right to that double team. A lot of stuff that he was doing last season, he's starting to do that again because he's more tired, maybe he's mentally or physically. So I would like to see Julius Randle get in the post a little bit more and go to work there. I think that would be a favorable matchup for him in the post.
Yeah, but I think he does get in the post. I think he gets in the post, right? That's when he's looking for that double or triple team, right? He dribbles down, he gets in the post, and then that's when it comes, and he's looking to kick it out. Yeah, but it's kind of far away from the basket, though.
It's kind of like really spread out away from the basket. I want to see him get down there and like really call for it in the post and go to work in the post and don't face up. More back to the basket dribbling and things of that nature. Old school.
Okay. I mean, that takes a lot of energy, though. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of energy. So I either way, and it might be easier for him to score down there, although he does have to bang around. Either way, having him be off the ball a little bit. And I do think that you can take him for a couple of plays and put him in the corner and just let him rest in the corner while somebody else is doing the creating. And let RJ create a little bit. Let Rose create with some other people a little bit. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? He hasn't been shooting well the last 4 or 5 games. He's due to have, maybe a good scoring game where he really does shoot well. So, we'll see what happens and if he does. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please smash that like button. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And don't forget, at 6 o'clock today, there's going to be a DMX fan tribute. So people can call in and just talk about DMX a little bit. I hope all of you are there. There's 192 people here now. Hopefully there's 192 people there listening to some music, giving us just calling and talking to us about DMX. All right. The link is pasted or pinned to the top of the YouTube chat, and I'm putting it back into the link. I'm putting it back into the YouTube chat now. All right, so go ahead and you can click on that link right there and, set your reminders. We're not going there yet. That starts at 6 o'clock. All right, starts at 6 o'clock. For the Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, same injury report, nothing different. John Henson looks like he's going to be out. I say it again, that, that boy, life is sweet for him. $110,000. He don't even have to step on the basketball court. Most people got to sit on the bench. You don't even have to do that. Sitting behind the bench, jeans and t-shirt. Mitchell Robinson, he's out because he underwent foot surgery. Haven't heard anything about anybody else, and hopefully we have no one else out, and everyone's healthy and ready to take this on down the stretch of the season. As for the lineups tonight, you're looking at Elfrid Payton matching off against Malachi Flynn, most likely. Reggie Bullock and Gary Trent Jr. Watch out for that guy because we all know he can get hot. Tough matchup. We know he can get hot. RJ Barrett probably matching up against DeAndre Bembry since OG Anunoby is going to be out. Julius Randle and Pascal Siakam, Nerlens Noel and Chris Boucher. Again, for the Toronto Raptors, they have a list of guys that are going to be out tonight. Jalen Harris is out. Paul Watson, he's out due to COVID-19 protocol. OG Anunoby is going to rest, so he's not going to play against the Knicks. At least this is the report that we have now. We'll see what happens later on tonight. Fred VanVleet, he's been ruled out for tonight's game. And Kyle Lowry, he's listed as questionable for tonight's game. Questionable. So it's a chance that Kyle Lowry doesn't even play. And so that's the reason why my projected lineup looks as such. Now, if Kyle Lowry plays, of course, he's going to start over Malachi Flynn. But if not, then that'll be Malachi Flynn. These are the projected starting lineups for tonight. Let's talk about that Julius Randle and Pascal Siakam. Then we could talk about Gary Trent Jr. and Reggie Bullock, as long as Reggie Bullock's going to have to play some defense on that kid. The last time the Knicks played Toronto, Pascal Siakam, as Josh said earlier, was, he got suspended by the team, so he was out. How do you feel about that matchup?
It's going to be tough, I think, for Julius Randle. Siakam is very, very kind of lanky. He definitely hustles. He definitely gets after it. So Julius Randle's definitely going to have to be on his A game against Pascal Siakam. Obviously, the Raptors haven't had the type of season that they would like to have with Siakam leading them. But I think, we can't take this team for granted. We can't take Pascal Siakam for granted because we all know the potential that he has, when everything is going at full strength and on full cylinders. So definitely I'm looking forward to the matchup. I think Randle's going to win the matchup, obviously. But, we can't take Pascal Siakam lightly because he can get hot and knock down some shots.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Salute to Dylan B. Says, salute Sim and Josh. Randle got the braids back, so he's dropping 40 tonight. I hope so. We need him to. That's exactly what we need him to do. Let me get to him. Yeah.
He got the color purple braids in the Miss Sealy.
Let me get to a caller here. Excuse me for coughing, ladies and gentlemen. I still got pollen and all that stuff in my chest and in my nose from cutting the grass. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Randle got the braids back, so he's dropping 40 tonight.
Caller, you there?
I hope so.
Hey, you got to turn that down in the back, bro.
Oh.
How you doing?
Can you just search it? Nothing. I'm doing good.
All right. So how you feel about tonight's game against the Raptors, the Knicks versus Raptors?
I feel like the Knicks are gonna win.
All right. I hope so. I hope the Knicks are gonna win. Go ahead.
But I think we shouldn't give Julius a lot of minutes. We should make Obi Toppin get him.
You want Obi to get the minutes?
Stuff.
You want Obi to get the minutes? So you think Obi's getting hot right now, and so you should rest Randle. I don't think the Knicks are gonna rest Randle, but tell me why you think Obi's getting hot enough to rest Randle.
Because we're gonna need him for the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And if he just keeps on playing and playing, what do you think? You're not gonna make it that far in the playoffs.
You know what? I agree with you. He needs to be healthy for the playoffs, but I think we might need Julius Randle just to make it to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's a tough line to toe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tough line to toe.
We're definitely making it to the playoffs.
Oh, so you feel like we're definitely making the playoffs. Okay. I love the energy. I love the energy, and I like the feeling, man.
Yeah.
What seed you think we're going to
be?
Okay. What seed you think we're going to be?
Probably the 7th. Let's be honest with you.
Okay. All right. Hey, my man, I appreciate the call, and I appreciate the patience. All right. Who wins tonight, Knicks or Toronto?
Knicks.
All right. Hey, all right. I appreciate you, young man. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the time. He said the
Great
Knicks,
job, man. Great job. Great call.
Yeah, no doubt. He said the Knicks are going to get it tonight. I hope so, because it's another big win. We definitely need it tonight. You can see it on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. The Raptors average 112.4 points per game. The Knicks average 105.4. I've said it a bunch of times. The Knicks not always, but most of the time keep teams below their average. Of course, when we just played Memphis, we're winning overtime, and what started off as a defensive battle ended up being a high-scoring game. I slept on Memphis's defense a little bit, just a little bit. I slept on it a little bit. They played better defense than I expected. The Raptors, they grab 41 rebounds a game. The Knicks about 45. Of course, that rebounding is, it wasn't an issue against Memphis, but it's been an issue a few games before Memphis. So the Knicks really got to stay on the rebounding prowl tonight. The Raptors average 24.5 assists per game. The Knicks average 21. 8.5 steals for the Raptors, 7.1 for the Knicks. 5.6 blocks for the Raptors, 4.9 for the Knicks. Both teams at 12.7 turnovers per game. Raptors shoot about 45% from the field. Excuse me, the Knicks shoot 45% from the field. The Raptors 37% from three. The Knicks 38% from three. The Raptors like 82% from the free throw line. The Knicks shot a lot of free throws in the previous game, and they made a high percentage. We've got to do that. We got to make those. We've got to. And they did it last game. The Knicks shoot 77% from the free throw line. Now, I don't remember how many times the Knicks got to the free throw line in the last game that they just played. But I think it's going to be important. That's one way that the Knicks can score. If they can figure out a way to get to the line, especially Julius Randle. And I think you're right. If he goes into the post, he can pile up some points by getting fouled. Right? So I do think it could be an essential thing for Julius Randle to get the ball in the post and try to get to that foul line. Right. The Raptors, they shoot 43% in the paint. The Knicks 44.9% in the paint. Not percent, but points per game in the paint. The Knicks, they both average about 13 second chance points. Raptors about 14 fast break points. The Knicks 8.8 fast break points per game. Pascal Siakam is the leading scorer for the Raptors at 20.7 points per game. Julius Randle for the Knicks at 23. Pascal Siakam also leads them in rebounding while Julius Randle leads the Knicks in rebounding. Kyle Lowry leads the Raptors in assists. We're not sure if he's playing tonight. I guess we'll find out at game time. Julius Randle leads the Knicks in assists. Nerlens Noel averages 2 blocks a game, and Chris Boucher, he averages 2 blocks a game. So they are going to have an inside presence, which does make it a little bit tougher to score on inside for anybody, including Julius Randle. Now, maybe we can get Boucher in a little bit of foul trouble, get that shot blocking out of here. You know what I'm saying? We'll see, how that goes for the Knicks tonight. As far as keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these keys are the same. Defensive and offensive rebounding. We got to rebound the basketball. Be live. Be active. Don't play around and let these guys run all over the place. Be live and active and get your rebounds. Box out. Good defensive rotations. This is a team that likes to move the basketball until they find their open man. A lot of ball movement, a lot of man movement. Got to play good, sound, fundamental defense with good defensive rotations. All right. We got to play good offense through aggressive defense. And I know that looks bad what's on the screen. Maybe I can fix it. I don't know what happened when I was writing that out. Right, but good offense, offense through aggressive defense. I'm looking like Chef Zay up here. No diss, Chef Zay. I'm just saying. Now I'm looking like you up here. But good offense through aggressive defense. And the reason why I say that is because when you watch the Knicks play, sometimes it looks like the offense can flow fluently, right? And then a team decides, you know what, we're going to play some defense. And they start to get a little bit more aggressive, pushing the Knicks around a little bit. And then the Knicks fall off their mark. Right? They start to fall off their mark. And they fail to continue through with their cuts. They don't hand the ball off as they should be handing the ball off, right? They start to make a lot of little mistakes when defenses get aggressive. They've got to figure out how to play through that aggressive defense. And I fixed it on the screen. So now it says offense through aggressive defense. That's what I wanted it to say. Offense through aggressive defense. We've got to continue the bench contribution, right? Good contribution from the bench. In the previous game against Memphis, we got to have even better contribution tonight, right? Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickly, even Obi Toppin gave us a little bit of something. We got to have those things because if we're getting that good scoring contribution from those guys, it does give Julius Randle and RJ Barrett a chance to let somebody else, have that responsibility. then late game execution. Finally, we had good late game execution against the Memphis Grizzlies. Let's see if we can duplicate that effort tonight. All right, if we can duplicate that effort, we'll have a good chance to bring home this game and even it up at 500. Try to get to another phone call here. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say real quick, last game, the Knicks did a great job of rebounding and taking care of the basketball in a late game situation. This game, I think it'll be a little bit easier because Toronto is nowhere near the rebounding team as Memphis was. And Memphis, they were tops in the league in rebounding, and we were able to take care of the basketball late. So I think, if we're able to do that and continue on what we did the last game, then I think this will be a much easier game for the Knicks to be able to manage in a late game situation. And I want to see Alec Burks out there more on the ball late in the game. If it's not Payton or Rose, I definitely want to see Alec Burks out there.
Yeah. It was nice to see Alec Burks have a good comeback last night or against Memphis because he had a good stretch, a nice stretch, and then he kind of dropped off. It was nice to see him come back. I want to give a big shout out to the entertainer talking sports in the chat, man. Appreciate you coming through. That guy is the hardest working guy. He is the hardest working guy on YouTube. There's no doubt about it. Big shout out to the entertainer, man. Much love to you. Much love to you. Let me get to this phone call. Caller, you live. What's popping? Hey, caller, you there? Oh, guess we missed it. Here, we got a new call coming in. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Good. How you feel about tonight's game?
Yeah, I feel that the Knicks can possibly win it, but they will have to be kind of careful. Especially.
Okay, you're kind of breaking up, my friend. Sorry about that. Maybe you can, call back when you have a better connection. My man Entertainer said, of course, my man, I'm popping on tonight. Yes, we are looking forward to you having you come on after the game. That's going to be dope. We haven't seen the Entertainer in a while, so that's going to be dope to have an Entertainer back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Big game tonight for the New York Knicks. A big one, real big one. Again, looking at the injury report for those who were just joining us for the Knicks, we have the same injury report. Mitchell Robinson is out. John Henson is likely out. That's what we know right now. For the Raptors, Jalen Harris out. Paul Watson out. OG Anunoby, he's out tonight. He's resting. He's not injured. He's resting. So he's likely out tonight. Fred VanVleet out. Kyle Lowry is questionable. All right, so the lineups look like this. Elfrid Payton, Reggie Bullock, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle for the New York Knicks, and possibly Malachi Flynn if Kyle Lowry is out for the Toronto Raptors, and then Gary Trent, DeAndre Bembry, Pascal Siakam, and Chris Boucher. All right, our keys to the game tonight: defensive and offensive rebounding is a must. All right, we got to prove it again tonight. They're a team that, like Josh said, they haven't been the best rebounding team in the league, but you know what? Boston wasn't either, and they killed us on the boards. Okay, we got to play offense through aggressive defense. Offense through aggressive defense. When teams are bumping us and pushing us and moving us, we've got to still be able to run through our offense and get things done. Good defensive rotations, ladies and gentlemen. And not just good defensive rotations, but, being smart, making good, smart plays, knowing when you're going to double team, knowing when you're going to trap, everybody being on the same page. This is a team that likes to move the basketball to get a good shot. Good ball movement, man movement. All right, so we got to be strong defensively. We got to continue our bench contribution. Alec Burks, Derrick Rose, Manuel Quickly, Obi Toppin. And then that late game execution, ladies and gentlemen. Get to a phone call here. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, guys. This is from Harlem. Listen, this team, even though, sometimes they just can be deceiving. Where they are in the standings, but they are a better team than Kansas State. They still got some players who could hurt us. I'm a big fan of Siakam. Siakam is nice, I'm telling you. But anyway, so these are the kind of games that we want the Knicks to lose. I mean, we want the Knicks to lose. I don't know where that came from. I want the Knicks to win.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a minute.
No. That's like one of them flip 40 and slip.
Yeah,
This is one of the things where
yeah.
I want the Knicks to win, but like, and then you look at the standings, and this is one of the people say they should win. No, don't take this for granted. This is a team that's like they move that ball around so well. They make you work. Even though the Knicks is a team, they're gonna have to. Somebody said they're gonna have to move their feet in this game. I'm telling you.
That's right.
And like, so this game is like one of those games. Like, I'm not taking it for granted because like I'm looking at the standings, man. 3-8. You know, I forgot what they call that, but you know when it's like the 8th, 7th, they have to go through a little kind of like a round or something before they could get to the. What is that called? Like you know what I'm saying? Like they in NBA got where the last 8 and 17 got to go through like some sort of playoff. You know, I don't know. You're
talking about the play-in, the play-in. Yes, they're still fighting for the play-in.
I don't want the Knicks to be in that position. I want us to like to look. I was really hoping for 5th, you know, or 6th. You know what I'm saying? Now I hope we can get there. You know what I'm saying? Because like the 8th seed is not good. Like you know, so you know that's one of the things I'm also like all these wins. I mean, all these games matter, my brother. You'll notice these games matter. Like Black Miles matter. Knicks games matter, baby. I'm telling you right now. So, and also, somebody missed about giving what's his name? His number's 18. They just who's the Knicks 18? He's come up to the 3-pointer. He's playing been good. Help me out.
You talk about
what is he saying?
You talk about from Toronto, number 18 from Toronto?
No, on the Knicks. Our Knicks, like who said?
Alec Burks.
Right. Don't Alex Burks. Now, you'll remember this. You remember Trent Tucker?
Yeah, I remember Trent Tucker.
Upgraded Trent Tucker.
Okay.
because Trent Tucker, only Alex Burks goes to the rim a little better than Trent. But look at Alex Burks' feet. Look at this tonight, and I'm going to call back tonight, guys. Look what Alex Burks' feet. Alex Burks' feet do not get off 2 inches off the ground. But he gets his game up. But watch Alex Burks when he moves the ball and everything, bring it up. His feet are so low to the ground. He reminds me of Trent Tucker, but he got that same kind of game with Trent Tucker because Trent Tucker always used to give us a little offense with a 3-pointer, but Trent Tucker gave us a D. And I like Alex Burks in that category. So, yeah, Alex Burks needs definitely some more minutes, my brother. You know? So, that's from Trent. All right? Thanks, guys.
All right. Appreciate you, my man. And you know, we also, Josh, there was a different minutes distribution in the last game. A lot of guys, I mean, you still stuck with the 10-man rotations, but the minutes distribution was just a little bit different last game. And I don't know if that's the reason they won, right? But it's something to watch. Definitely something to watch. The last game, Reggie Bullock.
The bench got a lot more minutes.
Exactly.
I've definitely seen them out there a lot more. Yeah, right. and they basically held their own against a lot of Memphis's guys. So I definitely like that.
Yeah, Reggie Bullock played 20 minutes. Julius Randle played 38. Nerlens Noel played 24. R.J. Barrett played 33. Elfrid Payton played 15. Derrick Rose played 26. Taj Gibson 27. That normally happens. Alec Burks had 33. Then you had Obi Toppin had 14 minutes. Right? And then Emmanuel quickly had 30 minutes. Right? And then Frank Ntilikina, he found a situation. He had 5 seconds. Frank had his 5 seconds. So, he went 11 deep. Last call of the night. Caller, you live. What's popping?
Hey, I was saying, why don't we start Derrick Rose? Why is he coming off the bench?
Well, I mean, right now, that's a good question for Tibbs. I think it's because, he hasn't been here. He's kind of been in and out of the lineup, and he probably feels comfortable with him coming off the bench at this point. We'll see what happens coming down the line.
The Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah, he did. He had a great game, but, right now he's, he had. There was the point when Elfrid Payton went down with a hamstring, and Derrick Rose was started for 3 games. We thought Derrick Rose was going to end up being a starter, but then he got COVID. So I think at this point, Thibodeau just doesn't. He may want to try to just keep the continuity of what's happening, and Derrick Rose could still be recovering from COVID. So we'll see what happens. Sure. The key is he playing down the stretch of games? That's when we need him out there. As long as he's playing down the stretch of games, I think we're okay. We're okay. Yep. Young man, I appreciate your call. I'm getting ready to get off the stream because we got this DMX tribute coming up at 6 o'clock, and I got to get ready for it, all right?
Okay.
Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 6 p.m. Please make sure you join us at 6 p.m. I'm sorry that I got to go a little bit shorter tonight, but there's a few things I got to do to finish up preparing for this DMX tribute. Hopefully I'll catch you at 6 o'clock. All right? We need the Knicks to get a win tonight. Any last things you want to throw out there, Josh?
Yes, 3 quick things, just real quick. Like I've always said, the first point is it doesn't matter whether you're starting. It matters whether you're finishing the game. And Derrick Rose is going to be out there when the game is in the last minutes. Secondly, RJ Barrett, last game was the first game that I seen he actually took over. Randle was like deferring to him, and RJ took over at the end of games. I'm going to see more of that because I think that's definitely going to help the team moving down the stretch. And also expect for Toronto to play some zone. They're definitely they play team defense. They're well coached, and I think they're going to put some zone out there. If not a little box and one, they probably throw some box and one at Julius Randle. So expect
let's
that.
see. And I would expect them to play some zone, especially if they have some of their main guys out who are part of their defensive unit. I'd expect them to play a little bit of zone, and we'll see how the Knicks respond to that zone, especially if Toronto is up in the fourth quarter. They're going to play some zone. Yeah. But anyway,
Absolutely.
ladies and gentlemen, please join me at 6 o'clock. Say it one more time. With the DMX fan tribute. All right. Live call-ins, the entire show. We'll be listening to some music and, talking to people on the panel, stuff like that. It's going to be fun. All right. We'll be taking that from 6 to about 7:45, 7:50 until the Knicks game starts. All right. So that should be pretty dope. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. You can click on the link that's at the top, pinned to the top of your YouTube chat to go on over, at 6 o'clock to the DMX tribute. And I'll catch you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The game starts at 8 o'clock. It's at Madison Square Garden. I'll be on, I guess, about 10:45 or so. Right? Whenever the game gets over, about 10:45 I'll probably be on. So I will catch you then, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. Be peaceful. Spread love, ladies and gentlemen. We out.